People don't commit crimes because they think the punishment is lenient. They commit crimes if they're thinking about their behavior at all, which is a big if, because they think they won't get caught. So what do we actually know if you look at research and science and the literature in criminology? We know that the single most effective deterrent has nothing to do with severity of punishment or length of sentence, but rather certainty of arrest. If people think they will get arrested, they are much less likely to commit crimes. They're not thinking about the punishment and am I going to get convicted? And I'll give you another example that illustrates this, what we call a natural experiment. The United States has tinkered with the machinery of death for far too long, the death penalty, right? State-sanctioned murder. Now, if deterrence were a valid theory of reducing crime, if it actually worked to prevent crime, then surely the most extreme punishment, death, would be the most effective deterrent. And surely then in jurisdictions with the death penalty, we would see less violent crime, less death-eligible crime than in jurisdictions without it, right? We have roughly half the states have the death penalty and roughly half don't. So we have this brilliant natural experiment. And even better, from a study design standpoint, we have states and the country as a whole at one point in the 1970s that have had the death penalty and then not had the death penalty and then had the death penalty again. So we don't even need to compare across jurisdictions. We can compare within states like New York, states like California, Georgia. And what we see is that the availability and imposition of the death sentence does not, in fact, deter violent crime. It doesn't affect it. There's no meaningful connection between violent crime rates and the death penalty. So that's a real problem if we're justifying these expenditures and these construction of new prisons and increasing length of punishment because of this idea that it's going to prevent crime.